Lexington, Virginia's Debbie White gained notoriety as the first full-time female sports writer in Virginia history while serving on the staff of the Daily Press in the mid-1970s. After serving as sports information director at Siena College in New York from 1977 to 1979, one of only 3 female SIDs in the country, Debbie returned to Virginia and began a long and distinguished career with Old Dominion University Athletics. Beginning as an assistant sports information director in 1979, White was promoted to sports information director the following year and played a large role in the national exposure of the university's basketball programs that they received in the early 1980s. Over the next 3+ decades, White would serve Old Dominion Athletics in numerous capacities, eventually being named Senior Associate Athletic Director for External Relations. In addition to her roles with Old Dominion, White served on numerous NCAA committees, the Naismith Hall of Fame, and the U.S. Olympic Committee. Her accomplishments have led to inductions into the COSIDA Hall of Fame as well as the Hampton Roads Sports Hall of Fame. Away from sports, Debbie is a past president of the Susan G. Komen for the Cure Tidewater region. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome for induction into the 2019 Virginia Sports Hall of Fame, Debbie White. Hi, Deb.
Thank you, Bruce, and for those nice words, too. And a huge thank you to the Virginia Sports Hall of Fame Honors Court, Eddie Webb, Will Driscoll, and congratulations to all my fellow inductees. It's extremely humbling for me to be inducted today with these outstanding athletes, coaches, and administrators, but even more special to be enshrined with my good friend of over 30 years, Wendy Larry, who was my road roommate back in the early days at ODU, a great coach and a mentor who put the Lady Monarchs back on the map in the 1990s. And I'm also happy to share this day with Tom Yeager, the longtime commissioner of the Colonial Athletic Association, with whom we respected and enjoyed many happy celebrations with at ODU during our long history in the league. I wanted to be an athlete in the very worst way. As the daughter of a football coach and the older sibling to an athletically talented brother, I wanted to compete and win in anything just once. While in elementary school in West Virginia, my father was then coaching high school football, and the players used to come over to our house and watch 16mm film, for those of you who remember that, in preparation for their upcoming games. I would watch that projector go back and forth, dissecting plays, and I was just fascinated. When I reached high school in Lexington, Virginia, sports were still not offered for girls, so I drew upon my knowledge and love of sports and wrote about sports for my high school paper. It was enough to whet my appetite, and off to journalism school I went at West Virginia University. Announcing I wanted to be a sports writer in the 1970s was often met with a sarcastic grin or the comment, "Well, that's nice, dear." The late Charlie Karmosky, however, welcomed me to the staff of the Daily Press and his menagerie of 22 male sports writers in the summer of 1974, just 2 weeks after I graduated from college. As the only female in the bunch, it became apparent that Mr. Karmosky had told the other reporters, "You better clean up your language." Several weeks after I arrived, somebody slipped up, and it was as if the air in the room suddenly returned. And I said, "You know, I've heard these words before. In fact, I use a couple of them." I was assigned the small high schools in Virginia who welcomed reporters to games because they didn't see us very often. Lack of press facilities, especially for football, was often an obstacle in providing coverage, and I experienced many interesting viewing perches, once on top of a school bus, I kid you not, and the other on the back of a pickup truck, where I was also handed the portable microphone and said, "Do you mind delivering the play-by-play too?" Then there was the issue of getting the story to the paper. which required a long extension cord, a telecopier, which is the precursor to the fax, for those of you who remember, my trusty portable Royal typewriter, and a lot of quarters, because I had to insert them in the gas station payphones to get the story back to the Daily Press. I was eventually given the sailing beat, a column on women's sports, and an occasional opportunity to write the locker room sidebar at college football games. Now keep in mind that that's ironic because I wasn't allowed in the locker room. But thanks to many fellow sports writers, some who are here, they shared their quotes with me, and many an SID brought athletes out to me. And another Virginia Sports Hall of Famer, Bob Moskowitz, taught me more about writing than I learned in 4 years of college. And while his red pen edits often brought me to tears, I learned so much from him. Unlike many of the other media members who've been inducted into the Hall for their outstanding long tenures as great writers or announcers, I lost interest in covering many teams because I did the big no-no. I started to cheer for some of them. I had an internship in the SID office during college at VMI, and I really loved that whole atmosphere. I landed an SID job at Siena College in Albany, and after 2.5 years, Dr. Jarrett and ODU came calling, and the rest, as they say, is history. I wore a lot of hats and had a lot of different titles during my tenure, but it all started in sports information. And alongside my trusted friend and longtime colleague, Carol Hudson, who's here, I built a career that gave me countless incredible moments and opportunities. I was witness to national championships, national upsets, All-American performances, the start and success of football, and the experience of a lifetime as a member of the media support team at the Winter Olympics in Sarajevo, Yugoslavia. We were also fortunate to host numerous NCAA championships during my tenure that exposed Old Dominion and the Hampton Roads region to national TV audiences, and I count those experiences among my favorite memories. I worked for only 2 athletic directors in 37 years, an incredible feat in today's transient world of collegiate athletics, and I would not be standing before you today without the leadership and guidance of Dr. Jim Jarrett, who never created a gender line. Along with Dr. Wood Seelig and the leadership of President John Broderick. In addition, I was fortunate to work with many local, regional, and national media members who helped tell the ODU story, and some who've become lifelong friends, one, in fact, who is a godfather to my oldest child. When I retired in 2016, I planned to end my days in college athletics, but the funny thing about retirement, sometimes you might not be just ready to retire. And so thanks to Commissioner Bernadette McGlade and the staff of the Atlantic 10 Conference, I've been able to continue to do what I love on a part-time basis. While I've mentioned several people who made it possible to have this incredible career, the people you live with every day make the difference. My father and mentor, Dick Harmison, along with my late mother, told me I could be whatever I wanted to be. My brother, Mark, his wife, Sally, my incredible husband, Steve, and our blended family of Kathleen, Phil, and Stephanie have all been my constant cheerleading squad and whose love and support are my lifeline. And a huge thanks to my friends and fellow staffers, many who are here tonight, who have come from many, many miles away to be with me. I may not have been given the gift of athletic ability that I so longed for, but the wonder and love of sports that was instilled in me as a child has carried me on a journey that I would never have dreamed of. Congratulations again to my fellow inductees, and thank you, Virginia Sports Hall of Fame, for this incredible honor.